with some of you guys got to get home past your bedtimes.
What's your bigs? They're huge tonight.
Well, they were awesome. I mean, they've really developed. And I think one thing, let's not forget, I felt like we had one of the most dominant bigs in the country coming back this year in Mo Crevis. And, he's out, and these other guys have done an incredible job stepping up. I mean, we've always been a program that's taken a ton of pride in our bigs and their development. Listen, everyone's a work in progress, but, the way Henry and Tobey played today was pretty special. I mean, they really took the challenge of the physicality. And, Texas Tech's a hard team to play. I mean, they find one thing and they can pick on it over and over again. And they kept kind of going to, 15 top in on that short roll, and our guys did a good job battling. I mean, he made a few, but he missed a bunch. And so it was a heck of a battle and a heck of a basketball game.
Grant said that he felt your urgency this time around was much greater than the first meeting. Just your thoughts on
that. For sure. I mean, we've been talking a lot about habits, and I've told you guys about that, and you want to practice your habits and pressure moments. I mean, that's a really cool thing to be able to do. But we also talked about having a response. Texas Tech didn't get our best look, and I felt like we were right in the game last time. But, probably these games, at Lubbock, at Tucson probably really mirrored each other. The team that won probably controlled the game for the most part. The opponent is good and hangs around and gives themselves a chance. And then home court ultimately at the end was held. And fortunately we were able to do that today. I thought for the most part in the game, I thought we were in good position. But I feel like they had just a few timely plays, and whether it's a breakdown by us or just kind of a crazy possession. I think in the first half we're up 8 and playing a great defensive possession, extra pass. At the end of the shot clock, and loose ball, guy runs by, and I think they hit a 3. We go down on offense. KJ misses a wide open layup. I mean, how often is that going to happen? And they come down and hit another 3. I just feel like there was a lot of random scenarios like that. And when that happens, sometimes you just got to take a breath and say, we're fine. Don't panic. Stick to the process. And I thought our guys did an amazing job of that tonight.
The home court, obviously they had a great environment there. You had a good environment here tonight.
You're only rating that good? That's good? Is that good on the Bruce scale, not great?
They're both good. I'd say.
I mean, you said they're great, and you said we were good. I mean, on your scale, I mean.
It was a big game, but they were both good. I mean, what I'm saying is how much of that affected what happened tonight, just flipping the script as far as where you're playing?
Listen,
You guys have better.
We all know there's a advantage to playing at home. I mean that it's well known in college basketball. I think that, and us not playing what we felt was up to our level of physicality or attention to detail. Obviously, we were able to address some things, from the last time we played them. But that being said, the margin of error was still really, really small, and luckily we were able to get out on the right side of that today.
Played Walker and Henry a few times together, a lot, if you will, and then you were able to go small too. So you kind of changed it up a few times in different ways.
When Trey goes out, our rotation changes a little bit. And to be honest with you, I mean, I did not know Trey wasn't going to play till closer to the game. And one of the things we were practicing initially was playing the 2 big lineup. I just thought it would be important this game. I thought we got crushed on the glass so bad by these guys last time. And listen, we were planning on playing 2 bigs to start out the season, and then Mo gets hurt. Things change. So I definitely think Henry and Tobey playing together can be something we can see down the stretch of this season, and I think there's a lot of advantages to it. I think Tobey did a great job defensively, no matter what position he played today. I thought Henry was really impactful around the rim today. Changing shots and then coming up with rebounds around the basket.
Grant said that he thought you guys were more physical than Texas Tech in every way in this game. Do you think that is just the nature of the team that you have, or do you think the Big 12 has maybe drawn that toughness out of it?
I've always thought we're a physical program. There's different levels to the physicality, obviously, with like Houston probably being at the top of the list. I've always felt like, I love physical basketball. It's nothing we ever shied away from. But I also know in this conference, you got to be built for it. And if you're not, you're going to get crushed on the glass. And, you're going to get crushed physically. And and you can't wilt on your drives. Their guards aren't big, but they're really physical. Their guards do a great job as you start penetrating and get down by the elbow, just timing their contact just right to kind of knock you off your drive line. And so when you went back and watched the first time we played them, we got knocked off our drive line and we were doing things that I've never seen our guys do before. And that's a response to their physicality on defense. They might not be big, but they're physical and smart. And so I thought we did a much better job today just of kind of asserting our physicality on them across the board. And I'm sure if we end up playing them again, it'll be a knockdown, drag-out team where both teams are going to be throwing a lot of punches. So it'll probably be a very interesting game.
It was 5-6, and I think some of the fan base was thinking maybe it's an NIT year, and now here you've gone 12 out of 13 or something like that, and they're going to be ranked in the top 20 on Monday. What do you attribute this turnaround those to?
I mean, it's what we expected. I mean, I didn't expect to be 5-6, but I didn't panic. I mean, it doesn't mean there wasn't a sense of urgency. We rolled up our sleeves and figured it out. I mean, we're a program. We've never, acted like we're perfect or we're above losses. We're just like anybody else. And we got a bunch of great dudes. We got a great coaching staff that's all in. And we've rolled up our sleeves and we fought. But I also know this. There's a humbleness to it. And, we're playing a Kansas State team that's, probably as hot as we are. And they didn't start out like that. So I know going on the road, they look pretty good playing Kansas today. So, we got another challenge. I mean, we could be on a one-game losing streak come Wednesday morning. So I think you just have to have a game-by-game approach. And listen, the Big 12's been a ton of fun. Was it fun when we were 5-6? I don't know. Were we 5? We weren't 5-6. That's we weren't 5. We're 4-5. Yeah, we're 4-5. We're 4-5. Yeah, thanks. There you go, Bruce. There you go. When you're back in good graces, Bruce. There you go. Okay. Yeah, but you know what? I'll say this. I remember there's moments when I'm sitting at my table at home and I look right at the Catalina foothills and out the other side I got downtown, got great views, and it was tough. It was tough, but I also thought, man, this is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun trying to figure this out, and sometimes you just got to roll up your sleeves and you got to be built for it. And for me as a young coach, who's kind of a newer to this head coaching thing, we'd had a lot of momentum kind of constantly and never kind of played from behind. So it was great for us to learn how to roll up our sleeves and literally double down on what we do. Not panic, double down on what we do and rebuild it. And that's what we did. So to me, it's galvanized our program.
Along those lines, you guys have a peskiness to yourselves. I can't remember seeing that in the last couple, 3 years, but this is a team that has that. Agree?
I mean, for sure. I mean, I don't know if I would agree that we didn't have it, but you have guys like JB and KJ. They're scrappy. I mean, Caleb's defense these last couple of games has been supreme. He's really rose to the challenge. I mean, Tobe. I mean, I don't know if he's scrappy or thumpy or whatever you want to call it, but he's something. He brings it. And Henry really responded today. These guys punked Henry last game. And so obviously we challenged Henry, and he was there for the fight today.
Lewis, he was banged up coming into the game with the hand, and then he was just diving all over the floor, a lot of physicality.
KJ's a stud, and I mean KJ. He has a couple of layups that I know he's not going to sleep good tonight about, but like he had a 20-point game, and he's playing a little bit banged up. I mean, the impact that he's having on our team is crazy. And what he's doing defensively, like that into that BYU game, there was a couple of possessions where they ran a couple of ATOs, and he literally guarded it by himself. Nothing we had scouted, and it was super impressive. So, I mean, he's doing things on the court that are very unique and elite of the elite. And it's a huge reason that we're playing well right now.
He was almost a little too physical or too handsy on defense, picking up quick fouls.
Maybe.
Carter's kind of in that same boat from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, Carter's learning. I was worried about Carter and the fouls today, playing against a guy like Darian Williams who's really experienced. And it'll be a great lesson for Carter. I mean, I think there's going to be some really good things to watch or film. But there was also a lot of possessions where Carter's just length and athleticism and effort impacted the game. And I thought Carter blended into the game brilliantly today.
Out that
You kind of touched on it before, but Did you challenge Caleb to be better defensively, or is this something he kind of took upon himself?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I told him, Caleb, you do whatever you want. I mean, I love you, man. I mean, of course. Come on, of course.
His career probably.
Of course, we've challenged him, and he's rose to it. You know what I mean? Caleb, we all know he has an interesting story, but he's ours, and things haven't always come easy. And you know what? I mean, I'm hoping that down the stretch of his career, that he's able to put it all together for an extended period of time, and he has for the last couple of weeks. So, we're going to keep scratching and clawing for it, and we're going to keep challenging.
Once you found out that Trey wasn't going to play, did you decide to go with basically a 7-man rotation at that point and consider?
I mean, we looked at some other options. We talked about some other things, but as the way the game played out, we just felt like that. I felt like that was what was going to give us the best chance to win. It's kind of tighten up that rotation, and a lot of teams in college basketball are doing that right now. Listen, I love having 8, 9 guys. I have no problem with that. E-Man is Oklahoma State helped us. Conrad at A-State helped us. I mean, I love having those pinch hitters, and to me that says a lot about a program when your 9th and 10th guy can step in and pinch hit and say something. Today we just didn't really need much pinch hitting. We kind of went with the main guys.
You said yesterday you thought the Trey wasn't an issue. What changed?
I mean, listen, all this medical stuff, Bruce, it's way beyond me. And Trey, he's not done for the year. I don't know if he'll play Tuesday. Obviously, I'm hopeful he will. Trey's an important piece to our puzzle, and he's a winner. He's a high character guy, and maybe this little break, and tending to this concussion will maybe kind of help reset him a little bit and allow him to kind of rest up and finish strong would be my hope.
Yeah. Coach, how important is the transfer portal to you, recruiting in the offseason, and can you speak to guys like Love and Bradley and how they've kind of progressed down the stretch and how important they've been for you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the transfer portal, it's here and it's probably here to stay, so it's an important part. And I think it's, when it comes to roster building and management, you have to be creative, and you can't be fixated on one thing. In Arizona's a program, I think we can go get 5-star recruits. I think we can get 3-star, diamonds in the rough. I think we can go find a transfer starter, All-American. I think we could find a transfer, role player. So I love the positioning of our program, overall. I think we're all those different pools of recruiting, and including international, gives us an opportunity every year to build a really competitive roster. And Love and Bradley are really good players. When you said transfer, for a minute I had to remember, that's right, they were transfers. Now that you have a guy's second year, I feel like they're ours forever. And so I love those guys, and I love their way they're playing. You can't say enough about JB. Rock solid, confident. He's getting to the point now where he's comfortable, and he's not even looking at me sometimes. He's calling the play, which, you know what, I love that. So I love what he's doing out there.
Last question here.
How much have you seen of K-State, and what do you think?
Listen, obviously they're really talented. They're really talented. They got some really talented players, and, for whatever reason, they struggle to put it together. That's not for me to figure out. I'm facing the team that's won 5 games in a row and just beat Kansas at home. And we're going on the road to play where Kansas just played. So I'm assuming it's going to be an awesome environment and incredibly challenging. And you know what? But I'm also assuming our guys are going to show up and we're built for it.
Did you get to know Jerome Tang on that Middle East trip, or did you?
A little bit. Did you?
Just talked to him once.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit. It was hard because both teams were kind of running parallel races. You know what I mean? We weren't like intermixed a bunch. But I've known Tang over the years, and he's a great guy. And, he's done a heck of a job there. So I know this. He's going to be bringing the energy on Tuesday.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.